Good morning. Thank you for joining me today on Word for Living. I am Della Peterson, and I'm the intern at Faith Community Church. And today we're going to be speaking on distractions and the dangers of distractions. So we live in a world that's full of noise. It's full of things that are constantly pulling us into other directions. It could be responsibilities. It could be family. It could be problems. It could be social media, notifications, so many things that can pull our eyes off of more important things. And this can look like many different things. This can look harmless. This can look productive. This can look busy. It can even look good. It can look like good things. So, and that's the number one way, or one of the number one ways that the devil likes to use distraction, because it happens slowly. He necessarily doesn't need us to be wicked. He just needs us to be weakened. So we're going to go over what this means and how can we overcome it. So it's not about doing more, but it's about doing the wrong things. Like Martha and Mary, we've heard this story. It's seen in Luke 10:40. The two sisters, Martha and Mary, they were good friends of Jesus. They loved Jesus. And Jesus and the disciples were going to stop at Mary and Martha's house. They were headed to Jerusalem, and they were invited into their home. And Martha goes right into hospitality. She's in the kitchen and she's doing all the things that are needed to do. She has guests over. A lot of us would do that. So she's in there, she's getting drinks ready, she's preparing the meal, she's making sure everybody's comfortable, everybody has a seat, doing all that stuff. And her sister is in the living room just hanging out. I have a sister, and I can relate to this because I am more of Martha. I would be in the kitchen, and my sister is more of a Mary. So I can see this really happening, and I can put myself in this place of Martha. So the more and more Martha is in there, the more aggravated she is with her sister. So we're going to read what happens. So this is seen in Luke 10:40. And so she goes to Jesus and she says, "Doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work?" She's like, "Lord, do you not see what's happening? Like, I'm in the kitchen and she's out here doing nothing. Lord, don't you see this?" But what does Jesus say? So let's read. He says, "Dear Martha, you are worried and upset over all these details." And that's what happens when we are pulled in other directions and other things. We get stressed out, we get exhausted, we get wore out. So this really is what happens to us. Our mind is somewhere else. Our attention is on something else, either fixing a problem or just doing life. We get exhausted from these things. So let's continue to read. "There is only one thing worth being concerned about, and Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken away from her." And I love this because when we spend that time with the Lord, that intimate alone time with Him, worshiping Him, having our devotions, talking with Him, it will not be taken away from us. Those are things added into us. Those are things deposited into our spirit and our soul and in our minds. It's nothing that will ever be taken away from us. And the Lord delights in that, and we delight in that. And that is so good to actually see that. So what Martha was doing was not wrong. It's not wrong to serve. It's that she was putting a priority on it. There are other women in the Bible who ministered to Jesus in this way of serving, and they were not corrected. So it's not that she was serving, it's that she chose that over something else. Here Jesus is in her home, and He's speaking over her household, and she is in the kitchen doing other things. So what does this look like? What really happens when we are distracted? So it can dilute our devotion time with the Lord. So when we are distracted, when our mind is somewhere else, we are either thinking about the time, or we are just not focused on what we're reading or what we're doing with the Lord. Our mind is somewhere else. It says in Hebrews that we should fix our eyes on the Lord. Now, this is not a glance. This is not a peek. This is not an occasion, but to fix your eyes on Him. This also creates a distance. When we are distracted, there is distance between you and the Lord. It doesn't remove Jesus, but it removes your awareness of him. And so this is not a good thing, right? So, and number three, it steals our destiny. So the devil cannot stop God's plan, but he can stop you from paying attention to that plan. And now you're just kind of stuck in the wilderness. You just keep going around this mulberry bush, and it's kind of delaying you because you are distracted. So, how do we overcome this? Well, it's not about us doing something. It's not, about us making something happen. Yes, of course, it's good to say no to things. It's good to say no to things that are just unfruitful or frivolous. But when we look higher, when we fix our eyes on Jesus, that's when things fall into place. Many things fall into place. Peace returns, strength arises, clarity comes, purpose awakens, and fear loses a voice. I don't know about you, but those are all wonderful things. So I just encourage you to keep your eyes on Jesus. If you're struggling in an area that's pulling your attention away from the Lord, God will show you, and he can direct you back onto him. And that is such a wonderful place to be. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and see you soon.